Hi everyone, and welcome to our first video. The topic we'll be covering today is rising sea temperatures. So, what exactly does that mean? Well, sea surface temperature, or SST, is now measured by satellites. The temperature of this can rise because of a lot of different factors, such as greenhouse gases.
So, some things that emit greenhouse gases are things like power plants, residential buildings, road transportation like cars and buses, and so much more.
Whoa, wait a second. How do we even know that any of this is real? Well, downwelling currents, which are currents that force surface water downwards, show some excess heat in the ocean's deepest layers, way below the SST, even though temperatures down there are way lower than the surface temperatures.
What does this mean? Well, because of the rising global temperatures, ice caps are melting. That, paired with the fact that water expands when it's warm, means that sea levels can and are rising. A government organization known as the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC for short, expect that sea temperatures will rise between 0.4 and 1.1 degrees Celsius within the next 5 years. By the end of the century, scientists expect a 1 to 3 meter increase in sea levels.
Why is this bad? Well, changes in sea surface temperature can affect migration and distribution patterns for different marine species. It can also alter ecosystems by changing species distributions, food webs, predator-prey relationships, and the reproductive timing and success of species. A rise in SST can also lead to the death of many organisms.
Within the next 20 to 30 years, the SST will cause about 50% of tropical coral reefs globally to have severe flaring. Within 40 years, this will increase by 95%. Corals can recover from mild and infrequent bleaching, but high frequency and intensity of bleaching can lead to irreversible damage, increasing the risk of dying coral reef.
This process is called coral bleaching. Corals have a layer of limestone and have a symbiotic relationship with the algae zooxanthellae. These zooxanthellae provide the nutrients and food necessary for the coral to survive. When the sea temperatures rise, the algae inside the coral dies, and the corals are unable to live without them. But why is coral bleaching a problem? Coral bleaching in large amounts can cause the destruction of marine ecosystems, causing shifts in fish populations. In addition, coral reefs provide humans with large food sources, shoreline protection services, and even medicine for certain illnesses.
So, what can we do to help? Well, there are so many different ways, including the limiting of greenhouse gas emissions, protecting marine and coastal ecosystems, and restoring these ecosystems, as well as improving human adaptation and strengthening scientific research.
Limit greenhouse gas emissions. The goal of this is to remove as much carbon dioxide from the atmosphere as possible. This will help prevent irreversible impacts of growing temperatures on ocean ecosystems and their surfaces. Right now, the global average temperature is 1.06 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, and we need greenhouse gas emissions to be non-existent by 2050 to keep our Earth safe.
Protect marine and coastal ecosystems. We can do this by regulating human activity in these habitats, along with preventing environmental degradation.
Restore marine and coastal ecosystems. This can be done in so many different ways. One way is to build artificial structures to serve as surrogate habitats for organisms like rock pools. Another way is to boost resilience of species to warmer temperatures through assisted breeding techniques.
Improve human adaptation. Governments can create policies to help control things like fisheries by keeping their production within sustainable limits without overfishing. They can also create what are called coastal setback zones, which prohibit all or certain types of development along the shoreline. This will minimize damage from coastal flooding and erosion. Another human adaptation could be developing new tools for forecast and control marine disease outbreaks.
And strengthen scientific research to give us more accurate data on the scale, nature, and impacts of ocean warming. Governments can invest more into scientific research. This can make it more possible to design and implement mitigation and adaptation strategies to help combat increasing sea temperatures.
For more information about greenhouse gases and other cool stuff, check out our website to learn more about the harmful impacts that greenhouse gases have on our atmosphere. Thanks for watching, everyone!